Our focus in our first session in this pastoral planning workshop was to introduce to you the importance of understanding our psyche in doing pastoral ministry. But what do we mean by the psyche? Psyche comes from the Greek word psyche, which means soul. In psychology, it is the totality of the human mind, conscious and unconscious. The proponent of analytical psychology, Carl Jung, observes that the psyche's development, which he calls individuation, does not take place independently on its own. It is affected by the world he lives in and how each thinks and feels, affecting one another and influencing the future. We will start this course understanding our nature as human beings. I will introduce to you a map of our psyche. First, let us lay down this assumption, as I will use ourselves as an example of what a psyche is for you to understand our topic. The assumption is that all of you who are attending this workshop are pastors, priests, religious, pastoral ministers, or pastoral workers. Let's say each of you is a particular psyche. This is you, and you live in this world. This is the world. Let's say at the center of your psyche is the self. The self has that conscious part. And there is also the unconscious. In that conscious part is what Jung calls the ego, which is actually the conscious mind. And what it presents itself to the world is the persona, which means mask in Latin. This persona is actually your public self. So you as a pastor, your role, what people knows you, what your followers were seeing in you is your persona. And as a pastor, this persona does not come easily. It entails discernment as you live in this world, reacting to this world, seeing it, judging it, and acting on it. From this world, you hear the call, and you are responding because you are conscious. Your deciding mind, your ego, decided to make a choice to serve. Yet the ego reserves that portion that only the self could know and be conscious. And that secret lies from within. Maybe something you try to hide because it's personal and none other business. So this is something that is hidden. Or maybe something embarrassing, but you prefer to keep it to yourself. So that's the secret, right? That's why we have secrets. Now, if that is the conscious part, there is also the unconscious. Yes, you are a pastor, but you are a human too. Like it or not, there are things you are not aware of yourself. That is a fact. Have you heard of Johari window? We will do this exercise to make you aware how conscious you are of yourself and how unaware of your inclination. This unconscious influence you in one way or another on how you think and feel. Our religiosity or spirituality unconsciously tapping this unconscious, which was already there. It's already there within, maybe taught or unconsciously imparted to us, to you. Wisdom or knowledge found in our collective unconscious. In fact, it could be from this collective unconscious that we come to attend this workshop. The psychic energy to get involved because of our spirituality is drawing its strength from this collective unconscious. The most dangerous in the unconscious is that within that you are not aware of, that could be destructive to you if you are not just aware of it, but unable to integrate it to your consciousness. This that you are not aware of and needed to be integrated to your consciousness is something you despise or dislike, and it is called the shadow. Now, as a pastor, this shadow is the opposite of what you would want to be preaching, of what you preach. And this is the reason why I am sharing this workshop, with the hope that you as participants will become aware of that shadow, befriend it, not to antagonize it, so that when you are whole and integrated, you can truly serve and minister, and not serving for the sake of a bloated ego. To understand the conscious and unconscious part of ourselves, let's demonstrate this through Johari window. It is a psychological tool developed by Joseph Luff and Harry Ingham in the 1950s. It was used to help clients better understand their self-awareness by dividing their personality into 4 quadrants, representing aspects of themselves that are, first, known to others, second, known only to them, third, known to both, and fourth, aspects others see or where they were not aware of. Not anyone could be aware of. None is aware of this fourth aspect. Now let's look into the map of the psyche, looking at the template of Johari windows. First is the persona. This persona operates within the realm of known to others. So this operates within the conscious part of the self. Second, the ego. The ego being the center of the consciousness, sometimes it hides things or facts he knows about himself, but this is private, so it remains a secret for whatever reason. This part of secrecy is the second quadrant in Johari window, which is known only to themselves. So that is conscious, and yet it's not known to others, still conscious, but it's a secret. The third is, there is that unconscious part of the self which belongs to the personal unconscious, not known to you and to anyone. This could be the shadow. So fourth, this is part of the self that is still unconscious. And there is this so-called personal unconscious which quadrant 4 belongs, where you do not know but others knows. So both this could be shadow. So shadow is something that you despise, that you dislike. Sometimes you try to deny, but actually it's within you. That's the shadow. And that is something that you may not be knowing. You do not know about it, but it's there. But something Johari windows cannot see is the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is like a depository of all inherited wisdom and knowledge. Our brain is structured to remind us when triggered by circumstances, and drawing from collective ancestral wisdom and knowledge, we try to respond to this. Some of this came from teachings or informations received earlier in life, or even ongoing learnings, whether formal or informal. So this is called also in sociology, socialization. And socialization is one pathway too in which this was acquired. Wisdom and knowledge may be gained consciously, but through times is relegated to the unconscious. But at the right moment, we can tap on this when needed. Manifestation of this collective unconscious can be found in myths, storytelling, rituals sa mga movies. Likewise, another manifestation is the emergence of various archetypes in us. That is how we react and respond to particular situations. Such response were also influenced by our collective unconscious. Our quest to make pastoral plan comes from nowhere. The energy is coming from that collective unconscious, the Savior, the Creator, who calls us to respond to the call of the times. So for your assignment, write in your journal how you see yourself in this map of the psyche. Then don't forget to call me for your consultation so that we enrich your learnings.